I was completely spaced out. We ready to do this?
We are always ready to do this.
Previously and
Straight off the couch.
Brian, are you worried about your job at 2-8?
Yeah, I'm just focused on, these guys in the locker room.
The Giants are just a train wreck. Brian Dable is still coaching at Thanksgiving. I'd be surprised.
You're going to have to make a highlight reel of every snippet from every show when he does get fired.
And I know we haven't started the season yet. I have a feeling that if Brian Dable doesn't do something this year, he's going to be, back to being a coordinator for.
I would not put a mid-season firing past it.
No, I wouldn't, because it's just they've struggled so much. Did you see Dable on the sidelines when the kicker went over at the end of the game, and he says, "I'm really sorry," and Dable just looked at me and goes, "I can't even look at you right now. I can't even talk to you." That's right. It was. I'm going to blow my horn in a second, but first let me bring in my partner, the aristocratic and amiable Adam Weidel. Adam, how are you today, buddy?
Oh, there we go again. You put together the highlight reel. I'm so proud of you, buddy. Is it time for you to toot your horn?
No, actually, you said it as well. It's time for us to toot our collective horn. It's a collective horn tooting we got going on.
Toot toot. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Just listening back to that, I'd be surprised if he's coaching by Thanksgiving. There you go, buddy. And then I said I wouldn't put a mid-season firing past them. And here we are.
Here we are. Brian Dable fired by the New York Football Giants yesterday, and let's go ahead and launch right into the rest of the show because we don't want to bore the people with too much with patting ourselves on the back and blowing our own horns. So let's just launch right in. Thursday night, it was the Raiders going into Denver to play the Broncos, and just an overall observation, the primetime games this week were a bit of a snooze fest.
Absolute ass.
Not good at
I
all.
think it's because the league is listening to us, or I don't. I'd like to say that they are, but the one thing that we've been boasting about is that the primetime games have been fire, and I guess we were due for a week where not so much.
Yeah, we were kind of pumping up, especially the Thursday games, because we were always expecting the Thursday games to be just terrible. And
they went back to last year's status quo.
Yeah, they did. And did you see Gruden is actually calling for the NFL to ban Thursday Night Football? Like Gruden has any power left in the world, but
I've always been a fan of the Thursday night game, but I do not think it's fair to the teams or the players. It's not enough prep time, especially with travel. You got 4 days in between games.
One of the theories passed out was do it after the bye week, but that shortens the time off that they have to recuperate. So I can see why some teams push back against that. So anyway, it was Raiders 7, Broncos 10. Bo Nix is looking good. That Broncos defense is looking good. The Raiders are looking ass. But even that being said, I mean, they held the Broncos to 10 points.
Yeah, and we're going to see that in primetime games the past week. It's just they've been defensive battles, but there's also been some flubbers.
There have been, and let's just go ahead and move on because the game was so boring. I think we can indulge ourselves in talking about other things for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that one could have went either way, and it went your way.
So I gotta say that Sunday morning game in Frankfurt, Germany, between the Falcons and the Colts was a really good football game.
Yeah, they go to overtime, and I mean, wow, that was a really competitive game, and that's really what we needed Thursday night.
It really was.
Unfortunately, I don't know what Germany deserved. Like, why do they deserve that game?
But they got it. They got a good game.
They got a good game.
So are there anything else in the early window you want to touch on, sir?
So I want to just say that the early window was absolute fire.
Yeah, but it didn't look that way at first.
No, but I missed the majority of it because, Sunday errands and stuff, and we've had some adverse weather here, so everything's been slowed down.
We got a foot of lake effect snow Monday.
Yeah, we've had like 3 days of it, so quite a bit of snow, but it's all going to be gone by tomorrow anyway because it's getting mild again.
All right, it's supposed to be 60 tomorrow.
Yeah. So that Bears-Giants game was interesting. Again, the Giants looked really good early, and then they just choked.
With 3:45 left, AWS win probability for the Giants was 96.7.
Yeah. So that game was interesting. Texans-Jags was a pretty competitive game.
It was, and I don't usually expect much out of Jacksonville. I don't know if it's poor upper management or Trevor Lawrence just isn't the guy we thought he was, but every once in a while they put together a good game, and this was a good game.
Yeah, he's
streaky.
He's streaky. That's the term we keep going back to for the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. But like Lawrence could be on one of those teams because they're so streaky. And the other game
next year he may very well be.
Yeah. The what the fuck game of the week was Bills getting crushed by the Dolphins.
Just embarrassed. They were just embarrassed.
Like they got off that high of beating their Super Bowl last week, of beating the Chiefs, and they go to the team that they should be able to easily dominate. They just fired their GM. When I looked at the score originally, it was like 21-3 or something.
It was a complete blowout. It was incredible.
So 30-13 Dolphins beat the Bills, which I was shocked. Ravens are back. That game wasn't like super important to report to, like, I mean, the Ravens are, they need to like win basically every game right now.
Right. They're basically in playoff mode in week 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Jets Browns was interesting. I didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think anybody in either of those two organizations saw that coming. Another one that we have to mention, Drake May just taking it to Baker, man.
So the Patriots-Bucks game was kind of like, it was a game I didn't want to see, but because I love Baker.
I love Baker, right? Yeah, we love Baker.
And the Pats are my team, and they're going through they've been through a rebuild for like 6 years, and I think they finally got the pieces together to actually make a fairly deep playoff run. Baker did not look like himself. He struggled.
He did, and it was, I don't know if he's missing Mike Evans or what, but he didn't look like he was comfortable the whole game, no.
And let's talk about the highlights on the Pats side of the ball. Travion Henderson has got to be the fastest son of a bitch I've ever seen.
That play when he's running towards the end zone, he looks over at Vrabel and asks, "You want me to go in or not?"
Yeah, like the guy was going like 22 mile an hour, and then he throttled her back to like 15 and pointed at the end zone like, "Is it okay, coach?" And then coach, I guess, said yes. And then he's back to 22 mile an hour in like 3 steps. I guess he was looking. That's pretty intelligent football.
I was just going to
there.
say, that's not only fast running, that's fast thinking.
Yeah, like that's intelligent football. Like he's probably had a million thoughts go through his head. Like, are we just trying to run clock since we already have the lead here, coach, or do you want me to take the tutty?
Right.
And coach was probably just like, you know what, we do want to run clock, but
you go, girlfriend.
You just ran 60 yards, dude. And the block that sprung him loose, like one dude like flattened 5 Buccaneers. It was an amazing block.
It was. That was a really good block to set up the run.
So
yeah.
So that was an interesting game. Patriots win that one 28-23, and then that brings us to the late window.
And the late window games were a little more competitive for the most part, but not overly so. It's amazing to me, both the 305 games, Cardinals, Seahawks, Lions, Commanders, both ended 44-22 scores.
Yeah. And then the other game, which was Rams Niners, 42-26.
Right.
Like
it's the same points total across. Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Who's doing the over-unders on these things?
Yeah. Like, was Vegas involved in these? And I was really disappointed about that because these are the games that I got to catch in their entirety, was these late window games. The 3 of them were all 40-plus to 20-plus. And it was just like, oh, man. Like, I wanted to see some competitive football. Unfortunately, I missed, like, the competitive games in the early window, but whatever. It happens sometimes.
Right.
Brings us into Sunday night.
Well, hang on. Right now, before we get into the Sunday night, well, we can talk about it in a minute. But right now, the two toughest divisions in football, NFC West and the Norris division, the NFC North. You know, it's those two divisions are the best divisions in football at this moment. So,
and that's not saying much because they're what, like 6-3 is leading the division right now.
Well,
like it's nobody's blowing it out with like one loss or anything.
And I haven't really looked at Los Angeles and the Niners, their schedules yet, or the Seahawks schedules yet. But I know for Chicago, they've only played 2 divisional games against the Lions and Detroit. So a lot of that divisional stuff is still coming up for the NFC North. So that'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But yep, that brings us to Sunday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers flying from Pittsburgh to Los Angeles to play the Chargers, and Aaron Rodgers has had the worst game of his professional career, it looked like.
So that game looked like it was going to be a defensive game early. I think at halftime it was like 5-3.
Yep.
Because there was a safety.
Rodgers, I don't know what he was thinking because he kept dropping back. He knew he was in the end zone. He could have. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. How many times do we see him take 3 steps, get out of the box, and throw it away?
Yeah, and like he was just his whole game was off. Like all his throws were high.
Yeah, they were either high or low. And Tomlin was asked post game about Rodgers' performance, and Tomlin just looked at the reporter and goes, "Well, what do you think?" The vibe I got was even Tomlin is done with Rodgers at this point. Is the vibe it came across? I could be wrong, but that was the vibe.
I want to say that he had like a bad game and he's going to bounce back because the week before they destroyed, but the week before that they were awful too. So I don't know. And I don't really care for Aaron Rodgers. I don't really care for the Steelers at all. It just happened to be the game that was in my view that I got to view from without having to worry about scoreboard watching.
Right. And the Sunday night game and sort of the Monday night game, those are 2 that you can indulge yourself and watch a lot more of than just you know, the you don't have to worry about, like you said, you don't have to worry about what's going on elsewhere in the league.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the Monday night game since we're on the subject. The Eagles and the Packers, and that I don't know if that was a defensive battle or just 2 teams trying to suck each other's life out of each other. You know, I mean, just.
I was out, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, actually, because when I was looking at the score on my way home, it was halftime, and it was 0-0.
Yeah, and I was listening to a little bit of Green Bay Sports Radio today because, you know, I like listening to the Green Bay Sports Radio when the Packers lose. There are Packer fans calling for Matt LaFleur to be fired. They're tired of him. They had that end of the game, 4th and a foot, and they run a draw play.
Yeah, there was a lot of questionable. Like I think both these coaches need to be drug tested. Why are the Eagles trying to throw it on 4th and short? To when they have all they had to do is run the ball.
Right. And you've got it's Saquon Barkley. It's not like some unknown guy who's never got short yardage in his career.
Yeah, just run the clock or do the punt if you need to, whatever. But like I think they were even in field goal range. Like they
And then at the end of the game with that I don't even know how to describe it. They went 4 downs and they didn't get many yards, and they were like 4th and 8, and they went for it again, and then took a timeout.
Yeah. The end of that game was very confusing. They try to freeze the kicker with the 64-yarder. He finds out that he doesn't have the leg.
Well, and it was kind of funny because usually the officials pick up the ball and the team is not allowed a practice kick, and nobody picked up the ball. And so he thought, well, what the heck? I'm out here. So he took a swung at it, and he was like 15 yards short, and you could just see LaFleur going, oh, no.
But, yeah, primetime games were absolutely hot garbage this past week, and I'm hoping we don't repeat that this coming week because...
looking at the Thursday game, I'm not holding out a lot of hope.
Dude, we got to have a football weekend without seeing the Cowboys or the Chiefs play.
That's good. That's good.
It felt like a blessing, but then they gave us all this shit instead.
That's a winner, but yeah. Do I hear a car in your driveway?
Yeah, I heard. Guy's got to learn how to shut off his car alarm.
Well, there he is, boys and girls, from I don't even know where he's at this weekend. It's Coach Blackwell. Coach, how are you today, buddy?
I'm good, boys. You guys are looking sharp again.
I really like I know I don't want to if I'm stepping on your toes, I'm sorry, sir. The hairpiece is looking magnificent this week. It really
This is not a piece. I just got it done. I got plugs.
Oh, you got the plugs. Well, no wonder they look fantastic. Oh man, that looks really good.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, that's something else. So, what was your fit? What was your jam? What was your what do the kids call it? Drip of the week? Which one do you like the most?
Well, this week, a bunch of teams wore white again, Terry. You know how I'm getting sick of this. They're all stuck in October, and I don't know why. I had a couple standouts this week. There wasn't a lot of great uniform choices, but Denver came out with the big D again, and you know how I love that big D, Terry.
That is a good-looking uniform, though, man. I like that uniform a lot. Brings me back to the days before with John Elway,
And the Texans came out head to toe in that deep steel blue. They were wearing their Christmas jammies, the boys version. And then New England said, oh, no, we're coming out in our Navy Xmas jammies. And then the Seahawks said, okay, New England, we will do the same. And they wore Navy head to toe as well. So everybody was in Navy this week. That was the hot color.
Well,
and then
blue is cool, but red is hot, sir.
That was the cool color then.
There you go.
Good pun there, Terry. Always count on you. The Giants came out in these legacy white alternate uniforms with it said Giants on the helmet. And I was just like, what is going on with this helmet?
Was it as I was watching that game, it looked to me like the NFL shield that they always have on the top of their uniform right below their chins, They looked like they were glowing on the Giants uniforms for some reason this week.
There was something weird going on. Aliens, yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
I thought they just, either glow in the dark or they just LED'd them all up. One of the two,
My drip of the week, the fit of the week, the one that made me go, ooh, the Saints came marching in all white and looked smashing. And I mean white. Helmets were white.
Oh, that is a good look for the Saints, yeah.
They looked like pretty little angels in their white and gold, and bonus points for the white helmet with the gold fleur-de-lis. That was my favorite uniform of the week.
Yeah, that gold and black fleur-de-lis on a white helmet. That's a good look. All right, buddy.
It just popped.
So is there anything else you want to cover, or do you have to dash off?
I'm hoping that this week we get some alternate uniform choices.
I
understand that Nike is doing 2 rivalry uniforms this weekend.
I know of 2. I've seen the preview. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm excited. I'll see you boys next week.
See you, Coach. And there he goes off into the sunset. So let's move forward to Thursday night. The Thursday night game. It's the New York Football Jets going into New England to play the Patriots. The Jets, who have won 2 games, going up against is it Patriots at 7 now? 7-2.
8-2, buddy. 8-2.
8-2. Yeah. If you don't pick the Patriots on this, you're a complete idiot, and you shouldn't be playing football at all.
How do I not pick them? Let's look at our stats from last week, and this one's brought to you by, hey, Terry's getting really good at football, and Adam is just a crazy son of a bitch. If you guys do recall from last week's show, Terry picked basically the ones that I should have picked, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do some alternative programming here, and I'm going to go against the grain.
Yeah, you leaned in hard. Yeah, you leaned in hard on doing something different. Yeah.
So I picked all the opposites, and all those primetime games were disappointed. Big props, though. I could have won all those games, too, by the way they went down, except for the Chargers game, because I guess, Steelers just gave up after 1 point. But you are now sitting at 20-15, and I am 1 game under 500 with 17-18.
Oh no. Yeah, you might want to. I hope you'd catch up, but don't make it too close. I like it. Not like I spent a lot of time taunting you that I'm better at it, but
So Patriots were both going to take this week. Jets played a good game last week, but I mean, I don't see how you cannot take the Patriots when the coach is on the field checking on his injured players and stuff. I mean,
it's kind of amazing that the Jets played the game they played because the Browns, even for their offensive woes, have a really good defense.
oh, amazing defense.
Yeah, so it's kind of amazing that they put up the points to win, but yeah.
I was shocked. I was shocked about that game. So we're going to see. And, you know, there's something that we should probably take note of before we go any further. The Jets and the Dolphins traded their teams away last week and then came out with whatever they had left and both won.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner-Johnson was gone, and it was amazing.
So there, yeah, just a little footnote there. Anything in the early window that you are looking forward to, sir?
I'm curious how the Packers are going to handle the Giants. I mean, are the Giants going to have that traditional, oh no, our coach got fired, we're going to bounce back and win game? Because if so, that will be 3 games of roll loss for Green Bay, which never happens. So I'm kind of curious about that.
And they are going into New York.
They are going into New York, right? Buccaneers Bills has a little bit of intrigue for me.
Are we calling that game the Buffalo game?
The Buffalo game, yeah. Because it's got my 2 favorite quarterbacks outside of Chicago playing. So
that is the game that I'm going to be paying the most attention to. Buffalo, you know, beating the Chiefs and then losing to Miami, they're going to have to do something. And the Bucs are still trying to lead that NFC South division.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And it's our boy Baker.
Yeah. I don't even know how to. I mean, the
that'll be the big game that I'll watch. I'm just interested in actually watching that game and probably shutting the rest of the noise out.
The games that the Bills have lost are to teams they shouldn't have lost to. That's the really odd part about this.
Yeah, and what you told me at the beginning of the season, they were the odds-on favorite to win every game this year.
Every game, yeah.
Yeah. So the other game that I'm curious about in the early window is how are Cincinnati and Pittsburgh going to get on in a divisional matchup with Aaron Rodgers coming off a short week.
And I believe
not playing his best.
And I believe the Bengals are coming off a bye.
And the Bengals are coming off a bye, and they've been scoring some serious points with Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco put up 40 on the Bears, yeah. I mean,
so I'm curious to see how that game is going to run down. But it's a divisional match, and it's usually pretty tight between these two teams. So let's see what happens.
Another footnote with the Bengals before the bye, after they played the Bears, the Bengals' offensive receivers, 2 or 3 of them, called out the defense publicly. So the defense might actually, put a little more effort in since they've been embarrassed publicly. So that'll be fun to watch, absolutely. Anything in the late window catching your eye?
So late window again. It's a flip flop from last week with these divisionals. So San Francisco visits Arizona and Seattle visits the Rams. So they're just like switching teams.
The Niners Cardinals doesn't hold much intrigue for me, but the Rams Seahawks does. The Rams are currently on top of that division, and the Seahawks are breathing down their throats. And the Seahawks are playing really good football right now with Sam Darnold.
They're both 7-2.
Yeah,
they're both 7-2. So that'll be probably the afternoon one to watch. But then we've got another divisional matchup, which means something. Baltimore's trying to get back into this playoff race against a pretty tough Cleveland defense, and that's another division where they play each other pretty tight. So that'll be one to watch. And then the KC-Denver game. KC needs to have this win.
They do, but so does Denver. So because Denver wants to keep ahead of them. They want to put them down and put them away. So
Denver puts basically the division away if they can beat KC, because there's no catching up to them at that point if Denver keeps playing the way they have been.
Yeah, Denver's playing really good football, and that I agree. I think that'll be the game of the week, is that Chiefs-Broncos game.
But we'll see. There's a couple interesting ones. Early window, not so much. We are starting to get into more divisional matches. So, we've got Carolina, Atlanta. We've got Chicago, Minnesota. We've got Houston, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Arizona, Seattle, LA Rams, Baltimore, Cleveland, Kansas City, Denver. So it's a very divisional matchup week.
Well, remember the Bears were winning going into the fourth quarter against the Vikings opening night and lost. So I think there's going to be some a little more
some retribution.
Yeah, there's some potential there for something really good, and that brings us to the Sunday night game. This one has some nice possibilities to it. It's the Detroit Lions going into Philadelphia to play the Eagles. It depends on which Eagles team shows up, though.
Okay. Well, I'm going to listen to Bratcher on this one and never bet against the Lions.
I'm honestly not sure about this, but because you said Lions, just to keep it even, I'll go Eagles.
Oh, you're going to go Eagles.
But I don't want Chris. Before I get an angry text from you, it's just because I had him pick the Lions first. Okay.
Yeah, but I just have to listen to Chris. He just he called against the Lions.
He called you out. Yeah, absolutely.
So what am I going to do? I have to you
got to pay attention to Chris because you don't want the angry text. Trust me.
So I'm not going to get them. You will. I'm trying to protect you, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it. You've always got my back, buddy. And that brings us to the Monday night game. This has the potential to be just another snooze fest. The Cowboys and the Raiders.
But you know what? It's going to be amazing because we expect it to be shit.
Well, and in all fairness, the Cowboys are putting up points. They just can't stop anybody.
Yeah, they have no defense, and the Raiders do.
The Raiders defense they're fast. They move around really well, and then they seem to, especially Crosby, man. He's just a beast.
Oh, that guy's amazing.
He's a beast.
Who you want to take here, bud?
I think I'm going to go Dallas.
Okay, then I'll take the Raiders.
All right.
Because I don't know, man. I took them last week and they lost by what, 3 points?
They lost by 3 points, but I think Pete Carroll's trying to get Geno Smith killed. I'm just
Geno was broken but still making plays. Like, he looked awful.
Yeah. All right.
So teams on bye this week, so we're not going to see the Colts and we're not going to see the Saints. So
well, the Colts, this actually comes at a pretty good time for the Colts. They have
they need the bye.
They need the bye, yeah. So, and the Saints, I think the Saints are out of it. So, they can't decide who's quarterback. They haven't been able to decide who's quarterback since the beginning of the season. So,
no, they're pretty rough shape. So, next segment is
it's our cooking section.
Oh, straight out the fridge, straight in your mouth.
Straight in your mouth. This past week, I didn't cook.
That's right. How did that turn out?
It was Selena's turn, and I have leftover tacos in the fridge. As soon as we're done recording, I'm going to go have one.
Oh, yes, the tacos.
Yeah, they were pretty good, though.
Yes.
She does a pretty good job.
Do you have to get one of those? Did you get one of those Arizona Cardinals tortilla jerseys to wrap it in?
No, I don't think I will do that. About once a month over the winter, I let Selena do something cooking-wise, and it's usually something simple like tacos or shake and bake chicken. But that's okay. I like shake and bake chicken, so
yeah, me too. Who doesn't like shake and bake?
Yeah, so that's that. And I saw you did pub crawl food.
Yeah, I did the pub crawl. So I'll see if I can remember everything that was on the list. So we had pizza rolls. Cheeseburger rolls, macaroni and cheese bites, lobster mac and cheese bites. Shit, I couldn't remember to tell you for the life of me. I know that I put a ton of stuff in, and it all got eaten. Like popcorn chicken. There was a ton of shit. I'm looking at the picture right now to see if I can find the layers. Oh, yeah, there was like beef phyllo pastries and just tons of shit in there. So, yeah, we did a kind of a pub-style night. And
Deb, thank you for your contributions as always, Deb. She did
we love Deb.
She did a pulled pork shoulder that looked really good. And on Thursday night, she actually shared her Thursday night game food. I don't know what it was, but it looked fantastic. Was that some sort of fish, I think?
Yeah, I think it was a fish of some sort. We'll have to ask her if she cooks her pork shoulder for 3 days, but
she might. She's a beast, man. I mean, she might, because she was leaning into the food pretty hard. And Teresa, thank you for appreciating the post. I'm seeing those, and I want to say thank you.
Teresa loves food.
Yeah. Anything else before we hit the...
I think we're good for the week, buddy. I'm looking forward to this week's games because anything has to beat last week.
Yeah, last week was pretty brutal, wasn't it? So, Adam, where can the boys and girls find you at?
Well, they can find me at Adam Off the Couch on X and Twitter, or I guess X and Twitter are the same thing, or Instagram, same handle, both places. And you can also find us on our Facebook page, Straight Off the Couch. How about you, Terry?
You can find me on the X at TREMUP. That's at TREMUP, and at Tear 'em Up Terry on the gram, and of course on the Straight Off the Couch Football Podcast Facebook page, where I try and keep you posted on the goings on as they happen, and if I'm playing around in the production studio, you might see something there. So,
and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. So, for my broadcast partner, don't leave things unsaid. Check on those you love. Until next week, bye-bye, everybody.